It's like if balaclavas but make it fashion.
Fashion.
Kneecap could never.
Hello.
Or so we go down the yellow brick road here.
Nice and easy.
You say that, I mean, this is what, my 7th show here and I'm still getting lost. People who finished shows like months ago are still wandering the corridors, wondering how to get out. End just finished the other night.
Yeah.
And Clive Owen was my neighbour and we used to meet at the water fountain each time. And Clive, I will miss you. I dedicate tonight's show to Clive Owen. All right, prepare to be underwhelmed. Entrez-vous! Come on in. It's my second home for a couple of months. So as you can see, the first thing I do is try to put on the nice lighting. But if we open up here, this is, ironically, I think one of the best views outside any window. So if you look here, these are all the dressing rooms. So when a show opens or ends, all the actors, regardless of what show they're in, bang on the windows to show support. And regardless of what company you're in, everybody's cheering each other on, which is quite nice. I mean, it's bloody ugly though, isn't it? I have a fridge and everything here, and we have the most important thing in the world. I have a tangerine, a little bit of chocolate, champagne, and milk.
Take us back to the first show you were in.
I can. The first show I was in here was called England People Very Nice. And it's one of the best experiences of my life. Oh my God, I think I started as a Neanderthal woman. I played...
Would you like a reminder?
Oh, my gosh! Oh my God! I haven't seen this... Oh my God, am I in it?
Yeah.
Well, I was in it! There I am. You may recognise a few of those names. There's Michelle Terry, who now runs the Globe. Elliot Levy, being marvellous in everything he does. Olivia Colman, never heard of her. She sort of disappeared after the show. We don't know what happened to her. Oh, look at that little... Oh my God, baby Siobhán. Holding a pig under her arm. Exactly how my parents thought the English would treat me. This is genuinely quite insane. Wow. Yeah. So I started off on that and played every kind of, literally it was one of those shows where you go out, you put on a literal different hat and walk out again. And I was in one of the corridor dressing rooms, which there's one right beside me here and there's one at the end. They're the long ones and you have a little cubicle, but you're all in together and all us girls were in together and we had so much fun. But whatever dressing room Collie had, Olivia Colman had, she would look down on us and just be at the window going, oh, because she was always so sort of like, she wanted to be in the middle of all the fun or whatever. She could see we were having fun and she'd be like, oh, so she'd always come down and be like, I was just passing. I brought some tea, can I come in? And I must admit, I missed the crack of the communal dressing rooms.
Yeah.
In this particular cast, the girls have what we call Champagne Club on Saturday nights. And we, completely illegally, don't tell security, we, after the show, open bottles of champagne and have a little dance for ourselves. And it's just so nice.
Is that what the champagne in the fridge is for?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When I moved over here, my gosh, I remember my acting coach was so disappointed in me because I wasn't a Yeats poem. I wasn't yearning. I wasn't poetic. I wasn't a delicate little Chekhovian, Yeatsian waif, because that's what the Irish are meant to be. And then I went to various other theatres and was surprised that they were surprised that I wasn't a wench, or that I wasn't a servant, or that there's a theatre has a lot of cliches within it. I mean, it works almost exclusively on cliches, and within that you have a lot of racial stereotypes as well. So I've hit them all, really, hit all of them when it comes to being an Irish actress. And if you work in comedy, God help you. The play is so well known that there are a lot of images that immediately come to mind when you think of it. Like, I had to study it for my leaving cert, which is the equivalent of GCSEs, and I hated it. I didn't get it at all. I was like, who cares? This isn't no interest. And I thought the widow was, so when Katrina was like, I'd like you to play the widow, I threw a huge strop, and I was like, how dare you, I'm not old enough. She said, technically I think she's meant to be 30. I went, how dare you say I'm older than 30? And I said, and she's an old woman and she wears a shawl, and she was like, oh my God, when did you last read it? And I went, maybe for the leaving cert. She said, read it again. And I had just these images in my head that when you look at the script, aren't there at all. She's a saucy little minx, and she's not saucy necessarily, but she's very direct. If she wants something, she asks for it. And I suppose that's what I mean about her being direct. And if she wants something, be it a mountainy ram, or a load of dung, or right of way through a right path, or him, it's said in the exact same transactional kind of vocabulary. And listen, jeepers, wouldn't it be lovely to be that direct? I always try to find something in each character I play about what I'd love to have in myself. That they, like Sister Michael has, she thinks she's the bee's knees. She knows that in every room she goes into, she's the best thing in it. And I'd love to feel that. And I think the Widow Quinn, she knows that her brain is quick enough to get herself out of anything. And also, she's never shy of going, I want that, or taking that. Or if there's something on the table, she'll just put it into her pocket. Or if there's a man, a lovely man with lovely arms, come home with me. You know, she's as direct as that, and that's a gorgeous thing to play. So you sort of, and she's talked about in such a derogatory way by the rest of the cast, by the rest of the characters. Jeepers, hopefully not by the rest of the cast. And it's actually quite a beautiful thing to maybe go, maybe they're all wrong.
Because actually that brings us on to her costumes.
Yeah.
Can we see her costumes?
Please.
They are rather spectacular.
They are indeed. Because I'll keep you in all day, so I'll just go straight to my favourite item. I know the director was like, make her as hot as possible. All the material was either, like the wardrobe department here did extraordinary stuff in sourcing material from authentic mills. One of the last remaining linen mills produces this kind of linen. You wouldn't believe this is linen at all.
It looks like leather.
It does, and under the lights it looks like leather, or a sort like armour. So it's called beatled linen, and I misheard the first 10,000 times it was said to me. And I thought it was beaten linen. And I went, oh, beaten linen. And I was like, well, maybe. And it turns out they make this beatled linen by beating it. So they beat it so that the fibres become worn and create this sort of sheen.
Amazing.
And it's the most flattering and the most beautiful thing I've ever worn. This is a beautiful piece of bog oak. Do you know what bog oak is?
I don't.
So, bog oak is essentially wood that has been found in a bog, but because of the lack of oxygen in bog water and everything, it remains preserved. So this could be millennia old. So there's this marvellous jewellery maker in Galway. He has this, and he calls it Mair an Cailach, which is the witch's finger. And the witch motif, that Jungian idea of like a crone or a witch or whatever, is very much what I'm doing with the widow. Yeah. She's a witch. This skirt looks like Vivienne Westwood, but it's not. I mean, look at that, lads. I'm an absolute gorgeous person in it. I really, really am. I mean, if I didn't know how much it cost to make all these, they would be going straight into my suitcase at the end of the run. I don't have a lucky object. I refuse to have a lucky object, and I really want to be emphatic about this.
Okay.
It's really important that I have no rituals or no things that I do over and over again, because you start placing meaning on them. I do, however, have this. So there's two things. This is called a hagstone, which I had for years, and considering the crone, the hag, this is very much, you know, you're meant to see through it and either make a wish or be able to see the fairies.
Have you ever seen the fairies?
Oh, believe me, I work in theatre every single day. The widow wears this every single night, and I love that. I'm a big believer in scents, and I like to have a character that has a certain scent. It just helps in the background. It helps my little brain go into a certain mode. She wears frankincense. And I have I have to have my script. That does feel like something, like a talisman that I need to have. Welcome to the Western world. This is a chair. How many amongst us haven't gone, do you know what, that wall is missing something? I should really hang a chair up there. Now you know what it would look like. This is the infamous loy that Christy Mahon slays his da. Which, and I don't know if do you know what a loy is? It's actually an instrument for cutting turf in a bog. I still maintain this is still like 1.5 times the size of an actual loy. Like it's very...
That's actual size?
Really?
And the other side of the loy lore is that it was just as used for potatoes as it was for turf, which makes sense as to why Christy has one. So my father-in-law was in, and my sister-in-law's father was in, and he was like, the loy was for potatoes, in his word. For all the good, for all the good it will do.
I suppose, but for drilling anyway, you got that small bit. Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. We've learnt. Each day is a school day here. You see,
split, isn't it?
You see, you have to realise that one of the, like on a film says, the most important thing about wigs, hair and makeup is the gossip.
Yes.
Then it's the chats. Then it's the catching up. And around 6th or 7th on the list is actually the hair, makeup, wigs and everything. So now I don't get my wig done at this point.
Oh, okay.
No, I get, but have a look at her. She's very beautiful.
Who's that?
That's Nicola Coughlan, I think. A lot of the focus has been put on Pegeen and the widow and a kind of Irish femininity that isn't touched by the sort of Victorian Catholicism where, you know, they have to be pert little maidens or they have to behave themselves, or this binary of like heaven, hell, good girl, bad girl, where actually you have two women who are like very open about their desires for themselves, sexual desires, but also like desires for the world. In general, what I tend to leave behind is shame at being looked at. You have to fully sort of ignore the fact that you're dressed up in a funny costume and that it's all just a bit of pretending. So I leave that behind, the bit of me that is embarrassed to even have people look at me. Specifically for this, I leave, well, she's such an outrageous character. She's such a desirous, lascivious character. I leave my embarrassment of looking. Actually, she looks directly at people, and if she likes the cut of their jib, she'll look at, I think she looks like what we think a creepy man would like. I don't think she's creepy, but she just looks at men and food and anything as just sort of, she behaves as if it's if she wants it, she'll just take it. So I leave those bits behind and I forget about everything else. It's really nice. That's what I love about acting. You get to sort of stop being yourself for a while. Like truly. And can you imagine how exhausting it is being? Yeah, so it's really nice to just turn an off switch on Siobhán and turn an on switch on somebody else. That's what I really like.
Shall we buy you down?
Yes, let's. So we've had the 5-minute call, which is, this isn't the widow, by the way. This is sort of a little character, an ensemble character. So I'm going to put a veil on. How are you? Nice day off. Look, this is it. This is why I became an actor, to be seen fully for who I am. Are you still out there? I can't see you. I think this is quite chic. It's like if balaclavas but make it fashion. Kneecap could never. Okay, now this is where I leave you. You're not allowed. Look at this, isn't it? It's always about good lighting, isn't it? Oh, thank you. You know, I am getting older, and you know, there is a thing about what's your currency as a woman when you get older. If you don't fit the normative idea of what is desirable, what happens then? And then you have what has been wonderful is everybody's reaction to this particular widow. Even audiences and whatever going, oh my gosh, she's so hot, and almost like they've caught themselves going, oh, she's a right little minx. And it's like, yeah.